to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate in nighttime. Getting ready for bed. Final Fantasy podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Caleb.
Get out your skivvies, your pipe. Get in your robe. Sit back in the old leany chair. Pull up a nice book. And then, instead of reading, listen to our show.
That's right. Or do what I do whenever I try to read at night, which is just fall asleep immediately.
Well, we might, for the first time ever in podcasting history, have a host fall asleep on air. I don't know. But
Are you pretty damn tired?
Schweiss, I know you do, too. We both work a lot of hours, though, right? Lately, yeah?
Yeah. The last few months, yeah.
But my work days have me waking up at 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that means I gotta get to sleep by around 10. And so, basically, I'm basically a drunk driver right now as I'm driving around on the road.
Yeah, there was a time, dude, when I did my random trip to the Grand Canyon where I was in a delusional state driving. The only thing I could concentrate on were the lines on the road, and I was like, I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm driving just fine, but I probably should be dead right now. There's no energy. It was 2 days where I slept maybe 3 hours total.
Wow.
And it was just I could only concentrate on one thing at a time. I couldn't concentrate on
I know what you were
music.
concentrating on that trip.
Yeah. Well, I thought I would be, but then I hated the person that I was with. But, well, maybe not hated, but it's a strong word.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been there, and it's kind of scary, especially when you make it and you're like, God, how much worse can it get? How do people fall asleep? You just enter the end zone where you're just fucking.
Anyway, Schweiss's work schedule is dick, and he has no way. Do you have no way of saying no? I'm only going to work 8 hours.
Essentially, yeah. If they ask me to stay, I'm very much expected to stay. They don't really ask me, and they always come up with fresh new ways too. Today, she's like, "Bad news," and I'm like, okay, what is it? I need you to stay here. And then she gave me the peace sign, which I joked last time. Yeah, for 2
really?
hours. I joked last time when the robot guy, because one of my bosses has no emotion, and we call him a robot. And when he did the peace sign at me for 2 hours of OT, I should have just done the peace sign back and fucking clocked out and left for the day. And fuck you. World peace, bro. I agree. I'll see you tomorrow.
Peace
man.
out.
Yeah. Just swipe my badge and leave. But yeah, it's always something new. And yeah, there's not really much room for saying no. I mean, I don't think they would fire me necessarily, but I don't think
you can't say today I cannot.
I don't know. There have been times where I've gotten kind of pissed at it, and they're like, "Well, do you need to leave?" And I'm like, I mean, no, I don't need to leave, but I fucking want to leave. I
really, really want to leave.
I don't need to go to Maverick every day of my life, but I really, really want to get some caffeine so that I can fucking stand this place.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it's been kind of rough, and I mean, you came over last night, and we were both pretty tired as hell. Even though I didn't go to bed for another 2 hours after that, and we were gonna watch Daddy of Light, but you were passing out, so it wasn't.
So instead, I'm here at the same time I was last night.
Yes,
to record
instead of watch a show
because we watched Daddy of Light this morning.
Yeah. And I only had 20 minutes, so I had to leave. So, but yeah.
All right, it's gonna be a great show today, guys. Yeah. We're going over episode 3 and 4 of the Old Daddy.
That's right, Daddy Old Light.
Daddy Old Light. But before we get to any of that, where are you in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates?
Ring of Fates.
It's like, oh, I picked up the wrong one.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a good thing I'm only 50 minutes in. I just barely was told that I can open up certain doors by throwing materia at it.
On a stand.
On a stand, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very early in the game.
Yes,
still.
you are.
I've been playing it here and there on lunch and stuff like that, but the big problem I run into is, like, I'll play it and then I won't get to a save spot, so I'll just leave the DS on and then it'll die and I'll lose my save.
Yeah, but
my progress.
You plug it in when you do that. You press sleep. Dude, I had mine on sleep for 3 days this week.
Oh, that was fun.
I had it on sleep. It was plugged in. Came back in. Killed the boss that I was on. And too tired to beat the night that I had hung it up. And then just kept going.
That works.
Yeah, it does.
But, yeah, I haven't played very much of it. I'm enjoying it, though, so far. I like the soundtrack. I like the gameplay. They added a jump button. Like, there's...
The jump button is very satisfactory. Wait till you get the character that gives you the double jump.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Can you switch characters?
You can.
Oh, wow.
That's like a huge part of this game.
Wow, that sounds kind of like...
character switching.
Almost like a kid version of FF10, then.
No.
Swap it out.
It's within the puzzle solving.
Oh.
You got your 4 main guys, and they each have certain abilities that allows you to open up certain things. Like one guy can, if he stands next to a thing and stirs a pot, not kidding, he can make materia. And then so another character can take the materia and go put it in the stand in order to open up a door.
Oh, okay.
You got the double jump person, so they can like leap up to a place that the other characters can't get to, and then like open up a thing. And
got it.
Also, same person shoots arrows as well, so they can jump up and something will be stuck on a balloon, and they'll shoot an arrow, and whatever the balloon is holding onto will fall down, and that'll help you solve the puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, I've hidden like my extra key to my house on a balloon and just like let it sit kind of high up, like just a little bit above the head level, so you can't see it.
It works until the balloon runs out of air, right?
Yeah, and then it's free for all. Whoever wants in is going to get in.
Yeah. Is that a key?
Yeah. Or if the wind picks up, then it's bad as well. His key's just in someone else's hands.
So, yeah, I am much further than you in this game, I think. According to the IGN guide that kind of has a list out, I'm on part 16 of 25.
Nice.
And I plan on beating this game tomorrow. So the day you get this episode, I will be playing it basically the whole day. So I better beat it, because after that, I'm going to lock off the podcast for like 3 weeks. So we got some episodes, some backlogged episodes that we did with the Lipstick panel. They put out an edited version of the podcast. We're going to put out an unedited version of the podcast.
Edited?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they edit.
You mean like take out the language?
I think they did then, because we were one of their first guests.
And now they don't care?
Now they don't care.
Okay.
But no, they'll take out like the tangents and stuff like that.
Oh.
So we're going to give you the unedited version, where we ranked the Final Fantasy 1 soundtrack, and then another one where we ranked the Final Fantasy 2 soundtrack. And then we also, the same guy, Greg, who's on the Lipstick panel, he has also given us a review of Final Fantasy II Soul of Rebirth, which we, of course, at the beginning of the show were like, F you, we're not going to do it. But someone has done it for us. So those will be going the weeks that I will be filming the 13th Cross, which thank you to those who have supported that movie. It's coming up, and I'm going to put all of my energy into it after tomorrow, after I beat that game. And then on Sunday, I'll be here for a few hours doing some podcasts, but otherwise it's
nothing but
Joe's on blackout. Yeah. refusing guest appearances. And
Yeah.
yeah, the one to return to the lipstick panel for the 19th time.
Did they ask us to go back?
Yeah, they asked us to go on. Greg was going to explain what glam rock was.
Oh. That's okay.
You were in that chat.
I know.
You were in that chat, and then I was like, I'm going to work on my movie, sorry.
Yeah, and then you left.
And I will listen to it. I am subscribed to the lipstick panel. When I see it pop up, I'll listen to that episode. Because I'm interested in what he has to say. But I will not be a guest, and I'll be MIA for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next Sunday, if you get Ring of Fates done, and if I get Ring of Fates done, it'll be a review.
Yeah.
But that'll be the last you hear me for a little while.
That's
That's not in the past.
Yeah. Past happier versions of us.
Past happier versions. I'm quitting my job 4 days early. I feel pretty happy about that. Kind of mad I let my boss talk me into staying an extra 2 days because I was going to quit yesterday. But you know, it was a decent compromise.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, you have something if your other stuff doesn't pan out if you come back.
Yeah, I have a job if I need it by not screwing over my boss at the very end.
Yeah,
I have it. I can come back to a job. Anyway, this is Ultima Final Fantasy. You can find us at ultimafinalfantasy.com. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/ultimafinalfantasy, where we ignore your messages.
That's right.
For months.
For a long time.
We used to be really on it, and the other day I looked at the thing. I'm like, Schweiss isn't looking at these because I always just look at it as a Schweiss thing to do.
It was.
I was like, oh, inbox.
And now it's a no one thing to do.
It's a few dozen at least in there.
I love it when I finally read it and I'm like, oh shit, sorry man. I know this was like 6 months ago, but yeah, the answer is yes. I'm like, sorry. You got to tweet me, man. If you tweet us, you're going to get something. But if you Facebook message us, it's just, it's harder. It just is.
But you can enjoy the shows with other people via Facebook.
That's true.
There you go.
You can.
But if you want to use Twitter,
and you can you can also ask us about 1 billion times why things aren't updating on Google Play, and we'll never have the answer because they don't answer.
And you'll
us.
never hear us say this.
Exactly, because you've never heard us again. You know, we died like the YouTube people. They're like, I wish the show was still around. It's like,
well, I got a tweet the other day from a newer listener. He's like, did you ever review Final Fantasy VIII? What number is it? I'm like, number? Oh, yeah, we number the YouTube episodes. It's like, get the fuck off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to look at the page and be like, oh, my God, you guys have been going for forever. Yes, we have.
Like, holy shit, there are hundreds of episodes in here. But
if you want to see some backlogged episodes or gameplay from when we played FF11 and 14 and a few other games, you can go to youtube.com/ultimafinalfantasy. Our website is where you find our forums, which you can join and ask questions and give us your reviews for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates.
Yeah, there is an episode or a YouTube video of me eating shit. Because I like
eating actual shit.
Yes, of course, yes.
Yes.
I like stood up real fast and went to go grab some water, and like something wrapped around my foot, and I just went down. So I almost want to do like a contest. Like, it's a Final Fantasy 12 video. You find it and you mark the time and you tweet me the timestamp. $5 gift card to PSN. 10. You can't buy it for $5. But,
oh my goodness!
Because I want to know where it is, but I am not going through that shit. That is too much.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Well, shit.
Yeah, tweet us. Tweet
I guess
me.
that's it. We already said the tweets, right?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, I'm at Joseph DeGolier.
At UFF Podcast.
And
you get to sully our name.
Let's get the fuck out of here
to
the news. Let's get to the news. No, just end the episode in 15 minutes.
News? Do we even have news?
We have 4 pieces of worthwhile news.
That's actually more than like the last while, which is sad.
News. All right, I skipped over crossover news I'm sorry. I know there's some like record keeper fucking bullshit,
Oh.
and there's also more news on the FF14 and Monster Hunter thing, which is like, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Cameron's
one of our friends said
having fun on Behemoth. Or
it's
whatever.
bullshit. Yeah, he says it's impossible to do by himself, so that's kind of fun.
So, if you love Final Fantasy IV, the original soundtrack revival disc with over 80 tracks, Blu-ray, is coming out October 17th, I believe, in Japan. But yeah, 80 tracks.
That's pretty awesome. I hope it's the...
It'll be like it'll say, I don't know what memorial films mean, but yeah, it's going to be $50.
Oh, shit.
So enjoy that.
That's expensive, but if it's if it's After Years style, where it's remastered and all that, and like fully orchestrated, yeah, I would totally probably buy that, because that's...
I don't know. I mean, I got something like that from, which will be a giveaway at some point when we figure out how we're going to do these. That Final Fantasy X 10-2 PS3 Super version, or whatever, the collector's edition that I got from Square Enix store. That had a Blu-ray disc with 10. You just pop it in, and if you have a Blu-ray drive on your laptop, or computer, then you can copy the files and just have the music, or you can pop in the Blu-ray disc on a Blu-ray player, and it'll play it, and it'll be like a montage of footage or art from Final Fantasy X.
Oh, really?
With the
That's kinda
soundtrack
cool.
in the background. I'll just keep going.
You just kind of relax to that. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that's something you could do. Some crazy Lego guy built... What did he build here? He built a Final Fantasy Bahamut, I think?
Yeah, it's Bahamut.
It's Bahamut from Advent Children, I want to say.
Oh, he said
Final
FF10.
Fantasy X Bahamut out of Legos, and it is a very complex, crazy-looking thing. It's from Marius Herman, who's a very good Lego builder.
Yeah, I don't have patience for that shit, but
I used to play with... did you play with Legos as a kid?
not really.
No? So you weren't a creative, smart individual?
I just didn't have Legos.
Dude,
I don't know.
I went to a point, so I got tired of Legos after I don't know. I also got tired of cartoons and shit really early in comparison to like my friends and shit. But the 3 or 4 acquaintances that I've had that were like Lego guys, they always, by this point, are now like super creative, fucking really smart dudes. And I wonder if it's just like they needed that energy, and so they were putting it into the Legos, or if the Legos made them smarter. I'm not sure.
Or
One of
maybe
the
the
two.
Legos they activated something. They were like a similar fix to what they're doing now.
Sure. It's like it's like a creative problem-solving thing with your hands.
Yeah.
It's like engineering on like a micro level. I don't know. I think it's interesting, and something like that's a piece of art, to be able to like know what Lego pieces it would take.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty impressive looking. I mean, it's
make
something
that.
else. Yeah, you can find this article and the pictures on Kotaku.com, so I mean, I'm not 100% sure if it's real or not, but I would assume, given the benefit of the doubt.
News, yeah.
Yeah, Kotaku.
Kotaku told me that Final Fantasy 15 had a release date when it just had an announcement.
Yeah, asshole clickbait.
Thank
Fucking
you.
pieces of shit.
Yes. Final Fantasy VII Remake, according to a job listing, is just confirming that which we already know because of previous news. Final Fantasy VII is an action game.
Yeah, it looks like the VFX designer on 7 Remake. The position requires work on general effect data using Unreal Engine 4's Cascade particle editor. Very familiar with that, of course. Used for battles, fields, making and implementing events, scene backgrounds, and such. So they're kind of giving a lot of stuff away.
Position that will carry the core of Final Fantasy VII Remake that is being remade as an action game.
A chance to challenge the world with a new Final Fantasy action. That's not a real sentence, but challenge the world though. That's interesting. It's like,
challenge the world.
Fuck you, world. This is my game.
That sounds like a band's bad album.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, challenge
Yeah,
the world.
Challenge the world.
Kind of, yeah.
Like they went to rehab, came back, and they put out Challenge the World.
And their previous albums were all like one-line names. And they had to do like a three-word album, and it's going to be shit.
It's going to be a shit album. Challenge the World. Final Fantasy's Challenge the World.
Yeah. Challenge the World to me sounds like, screw you, world. This is my Final Fantasy VII. Like the whole Episode 8 thing where like the director and freaking Luke Skywalker are like arguing. He's like, but it's not a Final Fantasy, or it's not a... I guess Final Fantasy works in that case as well. It's not a Star Wars for the fans. He's like, yeah, but it's my Star Wars. So it's something like that. They're like, you know what? Screw it. Cloud is not even the main character. It's the fat guy. It's like Jesse. Or no, Jesse's the chick. I can't remember what that.
You know what I wish that I had?
What's that?
Jesse's girl.
Yeah, there you go. They should have a montage of that.
You're welcome.
For Jessie is a girl.
Fucking oh shit! No, I kept it.
Yeah, so Monster Hunter World's Final Fantasy crossover event is live.
It's live
on PS4. So if you happen to play Monster Hunter World, go in there, fight the behemoth, get your buddies together, go take it down. It's apparently the hunt is actually pretty unique, and it borrows some mechanics from FF14. So it's got it's probably a fun little crossover event, to be honest, because I would assume, and it brings new stuff to the table. I don't know how in-depth Monster Hunter is, but 14 has some pretty crazy-ass mechanics, especially recently. Like, with the AoEs, it's like creating like a pentagram on the ground, and you got to like get in the center just to... You'll get slightly taken over by Satan, but you won't die instantly.
Right.
Like it gets pretty intense, especially if you play it from the beginning, where it's like, oh, get inside the circle. Like, oh, yeah, so we'll all run into the circle. And then it's like, oh, yeah, there's a circle and then a half moon, and one of them's glowy, one of them's not, and you have like 2 seconds to sprint over to the one, or you're going to get knocked off the mountaintop, and no one's going to be able to revive you. You're just dead for the whole fight.
That sounds like every challenge bullshit fight or whatever.
Yeah, the crazy ones.
Yeah, the crazy ones.
God. So annoying.
So speaking of getting taken over by Satan, I need to ask you a question.
What's that?
Cute creature. Okay, just imagine a cute creature with big, huge, anime-esque eyes. Okay. Eyes glow red. Dark red. Would you call that scared, or would you call that fucking evil and hateful?
If its eyes were like blood red?
Yes.
Probably evil.
Probably evil, right? Yeah. There's a little cutesy that watched fucking 2 Godzilla movies in a row where they had the son of Godzilla back in. It's like they just love fucking that shit. This is like this cutesy version of Godzilla, but when it gets scared, its eyes glow red. And like in the movie, the lady goes, it's from Godzilla vs. Godzilla 2 from like 94, I think. The lady's like, oh, he's scared. Oh, poor boy. I'm like, fucking, he's Satan. Kill it.
Mommy. Mommy, I'm scared.
I'm scared. Mom.
His head just turns around.
It's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying.
The funny thing is those are supposed to be like kind of kid movies too, so you just be like, oh my god. Like, oh my
I don't know
God.
what the writer was thinking when he's like, yeah, well, when he's scared, his eyes glow red. It's like no one was like, hey, eyes glow red equals visually a cue to say this is not good.
Yeah, something is amiss and it's not friendly. I feel like it was probably the same thought process that Twilight's author...
Sparkles?
Yeah, the sparkles on the vampire. I thought that was a joke for like
I laughed
years.
out loud. Okay, so I read that book, right? And I kind of toted it around in both shame and wanting to get attention from girls. And so I would I read that book in school. Mm-hmm. And it was a silent classroom. People were just working on stuff. I turned to it's like the very first line of one of the chapters or something. I like turned the page and was like, and his skin sparkled. It's like, oh! And I laughed. I laughed out loud at that part. I was like, "That's the stupidest thing ever."
Yeah, I saw like the movie Vampires Suck, which is a terrible movie. But
except two parts that are amazing.
There are a couple really funny ones.
Yeah,
like
it's an awful movie.
That's not human. But the
the one part. Sorry, there's one part where they like turn a corner and like the werewolf dudes are like all shirtless with their cut off jeans. They do a dance to "It's Raining Men," which made me laugh really fucking hard. And then there's the other part where the main wolf guy, he's like, "Be careful, there's strange things about," and he just turns around and he has a tail. He like hops into the bush. But yeah, you'll lose some brain cells.
It's pretty dumb. But I watched that and they sparkle in that one, and I was like, wow, that's pretty funny. And then like I was doing because Gold's Gym.
And you've never seen Twilight?
No, I had never seen it. I had never read it.
I've only read it. I've never seen the movie.
And then the Gold's Gym, they have this like cardio cinema thing where they have a movie playing and you just watch the movie. You don't hear it, which is bullshit. I'm glad I didn't, though. I mean, I don't need to hear the movie. I'm pretty sure I know exactly.
You need to hear two people go.
Yeah, two terrible monotonous actors.
I don't think they're bad actors, but maybe not good performances in that movie from what I've seen. I haven't seen the movie.
I guess what's his name is all right. I don't know. I don't really like him as Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter either. Like,
no, really?
Yeah,
I thought he did good in that. There's some independent films that he's supposed to be really good in.
I'm just like, this guy's supposed to be super charismatic and like.
It's kind of like her. She in little independent movies, she's really great. In fucking anything mainstream, she just goes.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no range, man.
So you saw the sparkles?
Yeah, I did, and I laughed pretty hard as I was.
I wonder what I have never seen the movie version of what's in my head.
It's probably exactly what you're thinking.
It just look like a guy with glitter all over him.
It's more CG'd, I would say. Like he's just like there's like the sun hits him and it like actually sparkles, and I'm like, wow,
it's the dumbest.
You're supposed to burn, not
ruin
sparkle.
Vampires.
Yeah,
it's just immediately.
Sparkling is more romantic.
Sparkles.
I was dying at that. I was like, what the fuck? I thought this was a joke. Like, I thought it was something cheesy, like he got shiny, maybe.
It's great Utah author right there.
Yeah.
We got Orson Scott Card.
That's right.
We got Brandon Sanderson.
I guess, yeah, Sanderson's a big deal now. Yeah.
We got the Twilight author.
Yeah,
Stephanie Meyer.
And that's it. Pretty much, as far as I know. Robert Jordan might have been.
No, he wasn't. No, he's from like Texas or some shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wasn't he Mormon though?
No.
Really? I thought for some reason I was thinking he was.
No, he wasn't.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's not.
Brandon Sanderson is.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah. Maybe it's just because he's not George R. Martin, so it's not like titties all the time. Unless it's placing your hands under your breasts.
I want to say there's like 3 sex scenes in that series.
Wow.
And they're pretty tame. They're not, there's topless women.
Yeah.
In the Brandon Sanderson ones, which was interesting.
Tit guy.
Yeah. I am too, though.
Isn't that what Utah is? Yeah, we had a map.
Yeah, Utah's a tit. So,
tit versus ass guys.
Yeah, it was Pornhub put out. Yeah. It was weird. It's like the further south you go, it's more ass. The further north you go, it's more tits. But Utah is like the furthest south tit state from the Pornhub stats.
Yeah. Represent.
And I'm like, hey, I get it, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's fair. So yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe Robert Jordan is like in on that too.
Maybe
it was all his search histories. Just pulling it up.
They went into his computer.
Yeah, his old ass computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad. I don't know why we got off on.
I don't know. I get off on many things.
True. Yeah. True. But yeah, Twilight's lame, especially the sparkles.
Yes.
But the more the sparkles than anything else, I would probably say.
The more the sparkles, the merrier.
Yeah, it's painful, dude. So painful.
You know what's going to be painful?
What's that?
Editing this episode at 1 a.m. I'm sorry. I don't want to fucking do a musical interlude. I just don't. I want to fucking blow my brains out right now. So I'm just going to be like, Daddy of Light. Oh, look. Hey, we're talking about Daddy of Light, episodes 3 and 4, Never Give In and Marital Troubles.
Oh, yes, Marital Troubles.
Yes.
I knew that was going to be a gem when you're like, look at the title. And I was like, oh, Marital Troubles?
I wonder what this is about. Yes. The first episode, Never Give In. So, if you remember, this guy's plan is, of course, to
kind of get to know his father.
Get to know his father via a sexy female avatar in Final Fantasy
So
14.
his dad is, he's sexually attracted to his son's character. And
yes.
honestly, the show kind of revels in that, I feel. Like
there's
some tension.
Yes, that's weird. But this is the second real... I think this is this episode, right? Or is it? No, I think it's the next episode. But within 4 episodes of this show, the show is really clean.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 really dirty jokes.
Yes, there are, yeah. And one of them was pretty awesome last time.
Yeah, well, the last one made me laugh real hard. So this show is full of surprises.
Yeah, it really is.
Definitely a like straight up masturbation joke.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not like, are you masturbating? Like that scene in Transformers. It's like a fucking, he's got the tissues, he's hiding the computer.
Yeah, and his dad's like, oh,
it's good shit.
Yeah,
it's still the high point of the show.
I would agree, yeah. It's the
like
best thing.
Legitimately well done. Okay, so this one starts out, he's got his flashback. Every single one of these fucking episodes starts with a goddamn flashback.
Yeah.
This one has him as a kid in kendo lessons.
Yeah, kendo. I forgot what he was training, so I just put down training at combat. It's like, I don't know. I can't remember what they said it was.
Kendo.
Okay, kendo.
And it's because he was bad at sports, so he was going through a bunch of sports and found kendo, and he was working on that. He has a match that day, loses the match, and then his father, who's there, which in the previous episodes he told his father was never fucking there.
Yeah, so this kid's full of shit.
His dad's there all the time.
Yeah, like he's needy, I think is what's going on.
I think so too. And then his dad has a talk with him. He's like, "Why did you lose?" And he goes, and he's like, "Okay, well, if you want to quit, then quit."
Yeah, and it's like a thing where it's like kind of shaming him was the idea. He's like, "If you want to quit, do it.
If you want to be a little bitch,
yeah. If you want to puss out here, I mean,
you want to be ashamed to all of your ancestors,
exactly, and think that I hate you for the rest of your life. I mean,
yeah, then quit."
And he does. Like he's just like, screw it, I'm out.
Yep, fuck it.
And then, of course, the dad. He realizes like 5 seconds later, like his dad wanted to teach him to never give up. And then he's like,
but the father gives up.
Yeah, it's true.
The father gives up. He's like, all right, I guess the kid just.
Yeah, he's like, well, screw this kid. Yeah, he gives up then, and he's going to give up again later. So, and then apparently Final Fantasy 14 is where the kid doesn't ever give up because it shows him fighting the Ifrit fight, which of course is easy as hell. Even the first time you ever do it.
And his dad dies in game, and he tells him then he's like, okay, now's the time, right? Now's the time to tell him to never give up.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him at his job, right?
Yeah, and then you brought up a good point. Like, we don't know what this guy does at all. And we have no idea. He just works as
Still don't, by the way. He works with clients.
He sells copiers.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Shit.
Okay. And they mentioned it right after we were like, what the hell does this guy do?
Oh, look. I forgot this in the last 8 hours, I guess. I have written... He sells copiers. That's one of my notes. Just big letters and big exclamation points.
Yeah. Well, it's still so like
3.5 episodes to realize what the fuck he does.
Yeah, and like there's just people in an office with Excel open all day long. I'm like, hey, this could be anything. Like any sort of bookkeeping, like
clients, sales.
Yeah, like super vague. And I mean, it's not necessarily important, but the longer you watch something, the more you're like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what is he doing all day?
Anyway, he's asked to like work with some new clients as a new sales guy or something. And he's sent with a coworker, and they're just supposed to schmooze one of the guys who buys their stuff.
Yeah, which we still don't know what it is yet.
At that point, we just still didn't know what he was.
Yeah.
And
there's a funny quote in there where it's like, business leaders have overcome many problems, and I'm like, yes. I don't understand. Like, the line was just in there like, business leaders have had problems in their lives too. Like, they finally realized, like, these are people. These are people. They have issues.
Businesses are people, my friend.
That's right. Yeah. Legally, they are. Right?
But he's about to like quit because he's not doing well or something like that. And his friend tells him not to quit, and so he asks for another chance, basically. And then next scene is he gets a new keyboard for his father, so his father can type.
Yeah. And his dad, when he tells him about the new keyboard, his dad like stuffs his face with the dinner.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
I gotta play right now.
Yeah, he's like,
so I can chat.
He's getting real obsessed and like that the idea. Yeah. And I agree. When I plugged in my keyboard, the game got about 20% better because like trying to communicate at all on that goddamn thing without the keyboard.
Dude, when I found out I could do voice search on Google, I stopped texting. So I don't know you. If I'm on the fucking that game, I'm gonna be on a PS4 chat, or I'm not gonna be playing that game. My hatred of typing runs deep.
It hurts you. It's like,
it literally feels uncomfortable to type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
fucking hate typing. I hate it so much. It's because I was terrible at typing when I was a child. I'm still really terrible now as an adult typing.
You just gotta practice, man. That's all I did. I just like pounded through, and I had that like those like typing games that they used to have at school. I got my mom to buy me one, and I started like destroying. But I just wanted to get faster.
I had no interest. I hated it. My keyboarding classes were a hell for me.
Joe, why are you so fucking slow?
Fucking hell for me.
That's where I first met Caleb, was in keyboarding.
Yeah, was he going slow there too?
Oh, he was. He was skipping class, and I got in trouble for it. Because like my mom came, and she's like, "Oh, is Caleb here?" And they're like, "Oh no, he left earlier." And I got out of the car, and she's like, "Left, huh?" Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He goes to meet the sales rep next. And the other guy is schmoozing him really well. They're laughing about baseball.
Yeah.
This guy's got like he's got an impersonation of like one of the big players, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good physical feat for the actor.
Yeah,
pretty impressed.
It was good. Yeah, this
skill.
guy does this like 5 times this episode.
But the other guy goes, I don't know much about baseball, and then
they're like,
meeting
what?
goes south.
Yeah, they're like, "What? You don't like baseball?" And he's like, not really. Yeah, so like, yeah, he doesn't know shit about baseball at all. And so he's like, "Well, that went really poorly." And then like everyone's like, I don't know, he's almost like a leper at that point. He's just like some freak, and nobody wants to talk to him. And so
then
like,
there's my note. There's my he sells copier note.
Yeah. That's where mine is too. That's when we find out is like we need to sell these copy machines. And I was like, oh, they sell copiers. Like, cool. And I was like, man, that seems like a lot of people to be selling copiers. And like,
I think he sells copiers.
Maybe it is just
no
him.
one else does the copiers. That's what I believe they said.
But the thing is they're like, that client, does that client buy copiers? Like, how many copiers do you fucking need?
I don't know.
God, does he like open up a new store every fucking day?
Not exactly a growing business.
Yeah, it's like you buy one and it lasts for a really fucking long time. Like, I can't see having to kiss this guy's behind.
To
get more copiers sold.
There's like a racket with that. So they sell businesses certain printers and certain copier machines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And only their technicians are trained to be able to do service to those things.
Oh, okay.
So then they have to send out their own technicians in order to do maintenance on them, and then they are the only ones making money off of that. They can't have a third-party company doing service on their copiers.
I see. Maybe
my uncle is one of those people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah.
For copy machines. I mean, Jesus.
He just goes around he's got like 6 states that he's in charge of, and he goes around and just fixes and maintains copy machines.
That's insane.
It's
a very strange and niche job.
It is. Apparently he started working at whatever their office was at like 16, and he got that job, and he bought a house at 19 and paid it off really early.
Oh, maybe you need to get into the copy repair business.
Yeah, get in that copy repair business.
This guy's loaded.
But that's when houses, I believe, cost like $18,000.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah. And there's pretty much no yard anymore because they just keep on adding to the house.
Oh, I thought it was like a copy machine graveyard. Like a dude that's into cars. You know, they got a lot of cars. And
I'm just telling you about my uncle's house.
Just copy makers.
But he loses the gig. Because the other guy complains that he was really shitty at it.
Yeah.
He's really shitty at, he didn't, try to interest the guy at all. He didn't know anything about baseball. But later on, he gets the inspiration twice. In game, when he's stuck on Ifrit still, his dad wants to keep going, right? And so his dad slowly types
very slowly
in the chat thing. It says, "It's times like these that you shouldn't give up." Cue the piano music at that point.
That's right, yeah. It feels
so
like
they go and they fight Ifrit, right? And then the guy goes back and he begs for his job back through multiple people to prove himself. And then he proves himself by chatting up the client about baseball.
Yeah, which of course
studied 2 games the night before.
Our heroine gave him a book. Offered a book of the client's interests, which is really weird. Like, is that something people do? They're like, oh, okay, showed mild interest in Metallica, showed large interest in Philly cheesesteaks.
I have considered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
having a little study book
for people. I have a lot of things that I remember that people at work are doing or have done or are interested in. Yeah. But it's all in my head. I don't have a book of like, hey, if you want to get in this, like get close to this guy and like get something out of him. Here's what you got to do. You got to tell him that. Ask him about his house. Ask him if he sold it, if he's going to keep it, or what's going on. Ask him how the market's looking. And talk about his car.
No, I mean it's just listening to a lot of stuff on self-improvement and shit like that, and business and.
Just remembering people's
shit. It's about remember their names, right? Just try your best to remember their names.
That's what I'm terrible at.
Try your best to remember something that you talked about before and bring it up again, so that they'll feel like you remember them really well. But so if I've thought about doing this, and I never have. Like when you get a business card from someone, you just write a few notes about that person, and then next time if you need to contact them, you got some things to talk about.
That's true, yeah.
So I don't think it's super weird. She has a full notebook for this guy.
Yeah.
Must be just like fucking like copiers all day.
Yeah.
That's all he wants. But only if they enjoy baseball.
That's right. You can't buy a copier from anybody. Everybody knows that. Everybody.
Yeah. So he has to bow to everybody and whine for his job back.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. And you mentioned it was like very public, and it was kind of shaming almost because he's like, "Please, God, please let me have it back." And he's in the middle of the office, like everyone's just like watching, like this guy's just like on his knees groveling. Almost.
It's a very public office. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's why the manager should be in another room, so you can be like, shut the door. Let's have a talk here.
Yeah,
and get some good sexual assault going on.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, naturally,
you got to have both. You got to have that power position so you can use it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you can't use it if everyone can see you using it. You got to make sure only one or two see you.
And we get a weird off scene where this guy's totally got a disease, but the wife of the dad, so the mother. Sorry, I don't know any of the fucking names.
I don't know if it mentions her name. It might in the credits.
She's like, you don't have work anymore. We should go on a cruise. And then he's like,
yeah, he just passes it off like, maybe,
but I have stomach cancer. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, and then there's a part where the son talks about the parents, where Akio talks about his parents not being very loving, like in public, which is kind of weird. He's like, they don't really show affection.
I think we're on marital troubles.
Oh, you think so? Oh, I think you might be right. I think that one ends with, that one ends right there.
With the cruise.
Him being like,
Yeah. Then we go on to marital troubles, so go ahead.
So parents aren't very loving in public. That's like how this one starts out, which is really odd.
He doesn't understand how they get along.
Yeah, he doesn't understand how they're like an item at all, how they are like still together. Especially nowadays, because the dad is like hostile takeover with the TV every night.
Yes. Mom's trying to watch TV, like some little drama she's into, gets up to go into the kitchen real quick, and then the dad is like takes the opportunity to take the TV.
Which I would be kind of pissed off at, too. I mean, when that happens to me, I'm like, the fuck, man? I didn't say I was done with that. Like, can't be Xing it out of my show for your game. Like, come on. So I get her.
So
I get it.
It builds up tension in the relationship.
Yeah. We get some development for these two characters, and then she takes the TV back and like gives him his annual scolding session. Is what the main guy said it was. So he just kind of sits there and takes it. And
then she says, "You can have 1 hour."
Yeah, she gives him.
And both of the men in the house are pissed because, of course, the son wants more than an hour, I guess, with his father, and the father has become addicted to video games.
Yeah. And now he's like, an hour. Like, I don't do anything all day.
It takes an hour to get through the snow level.
Yeah, he's like,
it takes an hour to get through that level in 14.
Exactly. I can't just be limited to an hour. So he's not very happy, and then the son is like, I have to do something.
Right.
He's like starts formulating a plan, basically internally. We don't actually see any of it yet.
Right. But the theme is continued with these marital troubles or relationship troubles.
Yeah.
I guess.
So yeah.
The office is silent and tense because two women aren't getting along. It gets real slapsticky with the guys in the back, egging this guy. Apparently, they're like, go ask him why they have a problem. And so the main dude has to kind of shuffle over there, and then the other guys are like waving him on in sync. By the way,
yeah, and it's odd.
It's out of place, but okay.
Slightly uncomfortable.
Apparently, these two women were best friends, but one got a boyfriend recently.
Yeah, and so we're like,
and the reason she got a boyfriend so quickly is why?
Apparently, she went down on the third date, and I was like, nice.
It's like third date isn't that much of a stretch, is it?
No, not at all.
No, it's not like super easy on the third date.
Yeah, she's and her friend's pissed at her.
Yeah,
this is
really mad. She calls her a slut.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit! Like, if I were in that office, I'd be like, dude, I gotta get out of here. Like, it's crazy.
I gotta get into here.
Yeah, or like, hey,
it's one of the two.
Is your friend as easy as you are? Just like, whoosh. But yeah, no.
You want to get back at her?
Yeah, get revenge. You know what I'm saying? We'll do it in one date. How about that?
Oh my god! So they have a big fight, a big shout out in the office. So yeah, the son comes back home after all that drama, finds the house dark, like quiet, scary.
Yeah, it's almost like a horror movie is what I said when I was watching this part, because the music is like getting crazy and like the camera is moving all like slow and like he just comes in from the side like this. It all just feels really odd.
But he just finds his dad, who has nothing to do at all apparently. Finds his dad laying in the dark. The controller was hidden by the mother.
Yes, she hit it, and it's a very evil thing to do.
So the son suggests going out, which was really uneventful. We just saw two small men get very large glasses of beer.
Yeah, and have no dialogue at all. Really boring hangout session. Day drinking. I wrote down here, day drinking with son, boring as hell. And yeah, it's just a really awkward scene where like they're just incapable of talking in real life to each other. Like there's just nothing to talk about apparently, which is weird to me. Like, you guys are dad. I mean, you claimed earlier, he claimed that his dad was never around, but we keep getting all flashback after flashback of him and his dad
totally being there.
Yeah, I mean, each time our Akio friend here is failing his father, so maybe it's like driving a divide, and his dad just keeps trying, and he just gets let down every single time. But it's constant attention, constant things to like bring up and talk about. Just nothing, just the beer.
So they go back into later on. Dad goes back into the game, gets the controller, I guess. And Dad in game complains to the other game characters that he went out drinking.
But
that it was boring as hell.
Yeah.
And so our main guy gets real offended and wants to dig in further. And then kind of has the motivation of being like trying to get him to apologize to his wife.
Yeah. His plan was to like be like, hey, I mean, you said you can only play an hour, but like, why? He's like, something happened. He's like, oh, well, why don't you go fix it? Like, why don't you go say sorry to mom and you play more with me, your son, in the other room, not watching porn. It's really odd. It's really odd. First of all, they're like, I feel like if I were ever told like you only game an hour a day, I would just laugh and just keep playing, like and just do my thing, like
That's what my nephews are allowed.
That's good.
And honestly, I can see why. It depends on the kid. A lot of the young boys seem to be really, at least in my family, they seem to be really defensive and protective and, what's the word I'm looking for? Possessive of the game. So if they're on a game, just the idea of taking them away for almost any reason.
Oh, it was like makes them pissed.
It makes them pissed. So my sister has figured out that if you put an egg timer on for an hour, like an actual thing that'll just, maybe not an egg timer, a timer off, it makes it so that when the alarm goes off, the kid knows that it's time, and the kid also knows that it was the timer that's the evil one and not my sister. And so he turns out he doesn't get mad.
One day he's going to realize, like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I've been duped for all these years. It was you.
But yeah, it does, because otherwise that kid would be on there all day, which is not healthy.
Yeah, oh my God, man. So Alex's brother came over, and he's like, I think he's like 12 or something like that. And he was playing Nightfire.
A 12-year-old brother?
Yeah.
How's that? Is that a little weird?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not really.
I only have older siblings. The idea of like that much younger would just weird.
One of my sisters is only like 9.
Remember, your parents only had sex 12 years ago.
Yeah. Just remember that. Anyway, though, he was over playing with Jace, and Jace was like down here getting all pissed, and I was like, "What's going on?" I come down, and they're playing Nightfire. And, like, he killed Jace, and he's like, "What? Stop killing me. Like, who's killing me in this game?" Like, he's getting all pissed. I'm like, dude, if you can't handle the game, like, just, you're not going to play the game anymore. Like, he's getting so, like, fucking uptight and, like, you killed me. It's like, well, yeah, it's a shooter.
That
like,
just, that just sounds like the normal thing.
Yeah, I'm like, which sometimes they just can't handle it.
I wasn't, at that age, I wasn't allowed to have video games, so.
Yeah, I don't think I did either. I was always outside, though. I never That's all I ever did.
So I'm kind of concerned. We have a question from the Nude Clan. It's like, are you going to let your kids play video games as a parent? And I am honestly, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I wasn't allowed to have them until I was like 15.
Just
and
imagine how much fatter you'd be if like you.
I'd be so.
You think you would have spent that much time? I bet you probably.
I would be
would've.
afraid of being. Craig's never going to listen to this. I would be afraid of becoming a Kaleb Craig.
Oh, okay.
Where I just have no motivation in my life except to get back home and get on the video game player. And it's like, I would like the video game thing to be like a treat, right? Or a podcast. One of the two. Where it's just like something fun, something I do occasionally, and even maybe binge it occasionally, just like as a, a weekend thing. But the daily kind of like obsession, which is what Nude Clan is entirely based on. I recognize that.
It is.
It is a little concerning.
30 hours in less than a week on Dark Souls 3. That's what I'm at right now. Admittedly, I am working a lot less than I was, but not 30 hours less than I was. I'm just not sleeping. That's what's happening. And it's an issue, but
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough
like
question.
that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. I mean, I will allow it, but I don't think I'll make them have to go outside and stuff. Like, you got to do some outdoorsy stuff. I mean, I know some people aren't that
I like
way.
my sister's timer thing. It
Yeah.
works really well for both the kids.
That's a good idea, especially if they're not very disciplined. Then yeah, but if they're very disciplined, like, oh yeah, I got all my homework done. It's like, well, you can do what you want.
Dude, that kid doesn't exist.
Yeah, that kid's an adult thinking about a perfect kid. Is what that is.
That kid has a prefrontal cortex that's completely filled in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's and he has a fuller beard than the father.
Yeah,
he's done. But yeah, it's I don't know. That's probably what I would do. I mean, I think there are some great storytelling things that video games can do.
Sure.
And there are some that are like an experience.
But I know some people have like social anxieties or something like that. And the way they don't deal with it, they just avoid it by playing the game.
Yeah.
And then they never get better at anything in their life because they're obsessed with a thing that is so singular and isolating. I don't know. I don't know if it's good.
Unless you're into MMOs.
Or, like Dota parties in high school. Like, that was a good reason to hang out.
Yeah, Halo parties.
But you're with people.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I guess. So, I mean, you have to have LAN parties.
Yeah, you got to have LAN parties. You got to go old school.
Yeah, I used to do that. I did that, like, not that long ago. It wasn't LAN parties. It was more of,
still
like,
do it.
Bring your shit over.
Yeah, Call of Duty didn't really work. Last time we did it, there was a weird lag when you have too many PS4s going through it.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
Something was going nuts. But
anyway, boring as hell. Wants to give up.
That's what these guys are. These guys are the socially, like, inept.
Oh.
They can't talk.
I put a note before the ending here. It says these actors are bad at controller acting.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of like really intense controllering, which you don't do in 14. You like hold buttons and let go, and then
the only intensity you get is when
some R1 cycling every once in a while.
Is when you die and you get pissed. That's when the controller gets shook and thrown.
Really?
Potentially.
I don't think that's ever happened to me. That's odd. Yeah, odd behavior. Yeah.
I did break a PS3 controller a little while ago. It's not dead. But I have to take it apart to take some parts out that are now destroyed and are impeding my ability to press buttons. But yeah, it's I wrote down here. Dad's got the Parkinson's because he's like sitting there like. This is a really awkward scene at the end. He's like sitting there like moving his hands as if he's playing the game and like.
So he's got a problem.
Yeah, he's like it's like scary. I'm like, what did I do to my father? Yeah, he's like possessed by the game that he's not even playing right now. And you know what the saddest part is that his mom freaking gives him the controller back at the end. She's like, All right, I haven't seen you have that much fun in a long time. As like a you know, a loving and also like a haven't seen you have that kind of fun in a while. Hint, hint. Here's your game, you ass. She pulls it out of like the crock pot or whatever. Some like
she had a pot
thing
underneath the sink.
Yeah, so he never would have found it. Of course,
right.
was the idea, and she gives it back to him. And I guess she bought her show on DVD instead. So instead of watching it live, she's like, you know what? We're gonna compromise here, and I am gonna just.
Did she buy it or did the father buy it?
You know what? I don't know. I guess. I
think the father might have bought it.
Yeah, I could see that being. I would expect that if I were her. I'm like, I'm not buying that. Like, you're gonna buy it for me because you're hogging the damn TV.
Anyway, everybody reconciles. The girls reconcile somehow.
Yeah, that doesn't say. It just says they're best friends. Just do that. They one moment are punching each other in the face and ripping podcast equipment, and the next minute they're recording an episode of the show. There's no explanation. It just is. Very winded episode.
And yeah, a lot of coughing, I remember.
Yeah.
And then our main guy, he catches his parents, laughing a little bit, and his father kisses his mom on the cheek.
Well, she has to like point at it and like tell him what to do, and then it's kind of cheesy with the little giddy.
That's where it ends, man.
It is, yeah. That's
episodes
Daddy
3 and 4. That's go ahead.
Dad of Light episodes 3 and 4 done. We have 4 more episodes left, I believe. Wasn't it 8?
Yeah, it's 8 total, I think. And a trailer.
And
if you want to get technical.
Review the trailer.
It's alright.
Covered everything, I guess.
I've seen all this before. It's shitty.
Yeah. Very misleading.
It's just a rehash.
Like, where's the cancer subplot? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping season 2 comes.
I want some more dirty jokes, though. I like those slipping through.
Yeah, it's pretty. They're like pretty up there. Like I was like, shit, dude, this is like it got crazy because it's all like jokey.
It's G-rated, and then it's R.
Yeah,
and it's back to G.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and that's why they're like, TV PG. That we'll give it the old PG. But yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It is kind of a cringy show. Still,
it hurts.
And the video game parts are the ones that are the worst.
They are the reason we're watching this show. Once again,
it's the worst part.
The worst part to watch. Watching dramatic or comedic scenes play out with Final Fantasy XIV characters spinning around and shit. Doesn't feel good.
No.
It feels gross.
It does feel very wrong. And there are some parts where like the camera just like stays on them. Like there was a part where the dad like was standing there and it was like 8 seconds of just him standing, and then he finally like laggingly walks forward, and I'm like I don't know, I don't like that, and I don't like the I'm not a big fan of the characters, like the friends. The people that don't get any FaceTime, but they're just voices.
Who are these people?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, are they actual friends in real life? Or are they people that he met online? Like,
no idea.
But like when they are talking through their characters, I don't like that.
Kill me.
And like the son talks with the female voice through his character whenever he's talking to his dad, and it's like. It's just weird. And the longing looks... Because, I mean, the 14 characters, they just, like, stare. Like, there's not much going on there. They just stare, and then they're like... It's like him and his son in the sun setting, and, like...
Care Bear stare.
And they're just staring at each other, and I'm like, man, like, they're going to make love on this beach here, like, no questions asked. This is happening right now. The sun's setting, it's, like, perfect time, and they're like, will you... Then, like, I could just see the sun being like, take me, like, it's... It seems very sexual in nature at times, and I've seen people online comment the same thing, and I kind of see it. Not as much now, but like episode 2, it was really there. I was like, this is
it's like I'm gonna have sex with my father through this character.
I'm gonna get real close to old daddy.
Real close.
And it's like
it'd be like I want to leave my wife for you. Where do you live? IRL.
Yeah,
it's like fucking. Oh!
Yeah, it's like, what do I do?
That's the nightmare version of this.
Yeah,
of this television show.
that's the 5-star spoof of.
That's the HBO version right there.
Yeah. Daddy O'Light. It's like an Irish home instead, though. Like it's Daddy O'Light.
Then the character has to make the decision whether or not he should hire the escort to play the character.
To play him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a good plot.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Copyright that shit.
Daddy O'Light. They gave up Daddy of Light.
Daddy of Dark.
Daddy of Dark.
Daddy O Dark. There you go.
Yeah. He could be the dark guys in that game. Fucking Warriors of Darkness.
There you go. We have 1.5 questions.
1.5.
And then 1 review. And then a question from us to you. So let's get to those.
Let's dive right on in.
Questions for us. We would like to hear from you. To all of us. Contact us on Twitter. Get on and ask your questions. We'll answer them we. This is the question segment. Asking you will receive.
All right, we received 2 questions asking us if we're going to try the multiplayer on Ring of Fates. The answer is no, because the timing has just not worked out that way.
Yeah, it's going to be real impossible.
So that was Shinra and someone else asked that question as well. Thank you for the question.
Second question's awesome so far. I haven't read it, but I've looked. I'm remembering last time the Cindy cosplay. The freaking crotch shot. And Joe's just freaking out.
Cindy cosplay, in case you didn't hear him say.
Cindy, yeah. And this
all I heard was, I remember last time I got my
crotch. So he says, after the reverse Cindy cosplay from last time, I thought I would get your opinion on a female Cindy cosplay. So here we have Cindy Orem cosplay by Kokona. Let's see what we got here. Adventures in Poor Taste.
She is much larger
than Cindy. Yeah,
than Cindy.
In a good way, though. The jacket, even though she seems like she's taller, the jacket seems like it might actually fit, and I guarantee you that jacket does not fit Cindy in the game for a very long time.
The jacket does, in fact, fit.
The bust, it kind of doesn't.
The bust is hanging out. She's at a fairground. What the fuck is going on back there?
With the fancy car.
There's a truck and a bunch of tourists.
Yeah.
As I could tell. What's the Twitter? Is it Conan? Oh, it's on Instagram.
Yeah, Kokona cosplay.
Okay, Kokona cosplay.
1,600 followers.
This is nice. Do you want us to get turgid on this show?
Yeah.
You just want us to be like, hold on a second. Let's.
Yeah,
not bad.
No, not bad at all. I mean, I'm not like scarred like I was.
No,
I'm also not laughing, which is unfortunate. But
no, it's because you're turned on.
Yeah. It's better cosplay. I mean,
she's got a good body.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
I mean, the other guy, I guess, did too.
Yeah, the
possibly
other guy,
more so, but I just don't give a shit.
The other guy had a good body as well.
He was like, you know what? I don't want to do Gladio.
But really, that just made me uncomfortable last time. I'm just a little uncomfortable. That's all.
Just not
so,
okay.
No, it's just not my thing. At all. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have been there the first time. There's like a sex scene between 2 characters in Game of Thrones, Renly and the Knight of Flowers. And Joe's first time watching that, he freaked out pretty like intensively. And I think every time since then, he get a little nauseous. It's not as much as like the blunt trauma of just like, oh, you can hear it. But it's always enjoyable for me to see your reaction to things that I don't. You
don't feel anything? Like you don't feel like just a little bit repulsed?
Just a little. It's like too much.
I always wonder because every time you say that's a because that I mean in the 90s you'd watch movies and guys would accidentally like see like two guys kissing and they'd be like oh god, and then you hear from gay people because they don't believe you at all. You'll be like, oh, come on, that's bullshit. Like you don't actually feel gross when you see it. It's like, yeah, you kind of do.
Yeah.
As a straight man, you just kind of look at that and be like, there should be a woman there. Like maybe that's the disconnect. It's like there needs to be a woman in this picture. Like this image doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And then it's like because
mean.
the disconnect is there, you're just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I don't want to see this. Do what you want, but I don't have to be here.
Yeah. Please, I really don't have to be
I
here.
really don't have to be here.
I know what you mean. It is like oh, wow. Yeah, it just feels like off. It just feels wrong. Yeah, it's something about it.
Then
yeah, the Cindy
you have
guy.
to defend yourself and be like, no, not gay at all. Not shades of gray here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I've had that conversation now 3 times.
Because of being repulsed by it? What is the idea behind that? Like, I mean, I guess sometimes that is
because
the case.
obviously they're not repulsed by it. And it's not like I'm going out and being like, guys, gayness is gross. What I say is, you get a little teased every once in a while. Like, not even a little bit. No. Zero attraction to men. Absolute zero. Zilch. And then they don't believe that. And that's where the conversation starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know if I've ever had a conversation like that.
Because, I think I hear, because you hear mostly from women, like, the idea that, like, there's a little shade of gray, right?
Oh, yeah.
On the Kinsey scale,
well, that's
right?
just because girls are awesome.
I guess, but
we can't blame them for for that.
I guess not.
I certainly can't.
But that it's like no, zero. Here's how I know it exists, because I'm not attracted to men at all. Sorry.
Although you did, you know what you did.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
While we were watching this show, you did say that this main character, the actor, is almost an attractive Japanese woman. So you thought
He's a
about the
guy.
fact that he could be a girl and
Look,
he'd be pretty decent.
This is what I said. Okay? I said if he put on a little bit of makeup and had like less wide of shoulders, it'd be kind of like an okay looking Japanese girl.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, all the classic square jawed masculine traits are all on the supporting cast. Our main character has to be
15.
like 12-year-old.
Yeah, he kind of looked. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does look like a little kid.
It's
weird.
because he looks so young while being hairless and very soft features.
I think you said something about like
it
in the right
combines
light.
into like the right light. That's also
Like
important.
a dim room.
It combines
I mean.
into like a 19-year-old, kind of okay looking Japanese girl
Yeah.
with some, some makeup on. I think.
Well, yeah, because he still does look like a dude.
To add maybe some like lashes and shit. So.
Yeah, because he still does look like a dude more. But
then he's
it's
like wearing
weird.
these like fine little sweaters with really long sleeves, like, and he might as well just like put the sleeve over his thumb. Like he might as well just do that.
Yeah, it kind of does feel that way. It's kind of ridiculous.
And I'm just like, okay,
weird wardrobe.
I guess this is our male leader.
Our leading man here.
All right.
But yeah, it's an
like-
odd show.
I don't know. I guess Japanese views on fashion or whatever are different. But when I'm looking at that, I'm going, let's. If I were to cast this show, I'd be like, let's get a guy that we all are. He's got to be nerdy enough to be playing this game, but he still has to be cool enough that you like him.
Yeah, he's not just there.
So if we're gonna go with a male lead. make him more of a leading man. Just a little bit. More of the classic leading man in there. I mean, he's already doing something weird. You don't need to have a weird-looking guy doing the weird thing.
Yeah,
being the main character.
Honestly, his dad is more of the stereotypical leading man,
Right.
or at least a supporting dad figure character. It's just like, meh.
I feel like I'm walking on eggshells right now.
Yeah, with the
My homophobic comments.
Yeah, you got to be careful. We did get shit.
All
for that
I'm
a while
saying
ago.
is I am not gay.
yeah.
In my own visual, it just doesn't. The reason I'm not gay is because I have a physical
Repulsion,
light. I would like a lighter word than repulsion, but
disgust. It's
No.
like repulsion light.
no, it's not. That's way worse. Like a repelling,
Oh, okay.
a repellent, a physical repellent.
All right.
to the
that is much softer than disgust.
yeah. I'm gonna shut up. It's too late. It's too late at night.
This is when it gets dark. This is UFF After Dark, as Mickey said in our chat here. We do have one review from the iTunes. Let's dive into that.
iTunes reviews. iTunes reviews.
Ah, yes. 5-star review here from Abrac08 on July 24th, 2018, titled, I finally have an iTunes account. Enjoy a long overdue 5-star review. P.S. Play and review FF7 Remake for this show, not Nude Clan, you cowards.
No. I refuse.
Our reasoning gets thinner and thinner as time goes on, because eventually I think Cameron will play Final Fantasy 15, and then he will play the real Final Fantasy.
I'm sorry. We can't treat FF7 more special than the other ones, and there were full-on voice-acted 3D new system remake before, and we didn't have a second review for that version of the game. I just feel like it's inconsistent.
Wait, for which one? Oh, the DS.
Final Fantasy IV's DS.
Final Fantasy IV has multiple
remake.
versions.
And one has voice acting and new cutscenes, the whole 9 yards, just like FF7. So, if we didn't do it for 4, we didn't do it for 3 because we didn't play the original version of 3 or a 2D version of 3 and then go, ooh, let's play the crazy new remake with revamped everything.
The peg leg.
No, we just picked one version and played it. So, if this is a remake of FF7, treat it like a remake of FF4. It's just a new game, new version of it, which is nice. It's nice that there's a more HD version of 10 that came out. I played the PS3 one.
Yeah, same.
So I can't. It's not. I don't think. Unless they totally redo the thing, which I would not be happy with. Redo the entire story or shit like that. Just treat it like the other remakes and. Yeah, I want to play it, but I'll play it for New Clan.
And the thing is we've been kind of bogged down with Final Fantasy VII material for the show, especially.
It doesn't end.
It really doesn't. There are
actually,
so many.
We have ended them.
I think we're done. Yeah,
okay.
now, but for now,
10
who
is
knows?
still there. Waiting on that 10 2.5.
I know. Yeah, I know. We need to read it. That's the problem. Oh no, never mind. We need to have it read to us.
That's right. Yeah, you forgot about that.
So we count it as a Geekdom podcast and a book.
That's right.
Double dipping. And we don't have to do shit. All we have to do is listen.
Audiobook.
Audio. Oh, yeah, that's true. Audiobook. But, yeah, we've got that, and then it's pretty much 14 and 15. I don't really know if they've got anything for 13. I know they have the mangas for Type 0. We need to look into that.
There's some 13 short story between 13 and 13.2.
Probably.
Type 0 mango, like you were saying, there might be something there. No one has said anything.
I have one, and it's in English. I don't know if it's like
I have one and it exists.
Let me look at it here.
See if it's just a retelling of the same story. Or?
Gone Comics. You know what? I've read it like I think about 3 times, and I have no idea what's in here. Absolutely no clue. I don't think it's the same story though. I think it's different.
Oh shit, we might have to read it.
But I'll have to read it to find out if it's different. And it'll take like about a minute.
I bet there's a Final Fantasy wiki
That has like info on it. Probably, yeah. They've got a lot of... That wiki is pretty damn good. They got a lot of obscure shit.
It is, with the exception of their fucking pop-ups every 2 seconds. But
That's true, yeah.
Can't believe this day and age. You know what the new pop-up is?
Ads.
The ad that waits for you to read that little piece of the page and try to... You put your thumb down in order to scroll more, and that's when the ad loads.
Yeah.
It's a sneaky motherfucking piece of shit tactic. Fuck that shit.
It is pretty
And
annoying,
then it's like,
especially on a
new
phone.
new tab. Hey, you're the winner. And it's like...
It's even worse when like it loses your spot, and you're like, God damn it, man.
Yeah,
like,
you have to click back. It's like,
Yeah.
why did I even go in here?
Yeah, it's... you
Why do I
fucking
even try to read?
clickbait a-hole. It's like... And yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're trying to sell me like penis enlargement pills? Like, this is a game website. Like, God,
These
can
are
at
the
least have some...
sites you've been browsing otherwise.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, yeah, shit. But yeah, it's like that's. I guess that's true. It is like the Google AdSense thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was of course a
based
vague
on information they steal from you, and
a vague, unrelated example.
a
what
vague,
goes on.
unrelated example of penis enhancement pills.
Yeah, just so happens that that's what came to mind.
I bought one piece of camera equipment, and now all I have are ads for fucking camera equipment.
You should buy a copier and see what happens then. You want this $30,000 copier? What about this?
And it's like, I already fucking bought it.
Yeah, it's like, what
I'm
are you
getting ads for it now?
Or like other people purchase this. I get emails sometimes from Amazon like, do you want to buy this? And I'm like, no. Why the fuck would you ask me if I want to buy that? Just randomly, like, this 30,000 other people bought this in addition to that one thing you bought that one day. You want to pick it up? Not really.
Nope.
Like, God, do you think advertising is that deep where I'm just going to, like, it's going to be implanted into my mind and be like, man, I really want that steak knife set now. Like, I don't ever eat steak, but shit. Everyone that bought Nier Automata on PS4 bought that fucking steak knife set. Like, there's something there. I need it now.
It's for that day when you are looking for a steak knife set, you're going to be inclined to buy the one that you recognize subconsciously or otherwise.
It sounds like steak knife collusion to me. I don't know if I like that.
That's not collusion. That's
They're getting in my
meddling, not collusion.
meddling. Yeah, they're playing with me, making me forget all the other steak knife
collusion
brands.
is a trade-off, so you gotta receive something of value.
Oh, I guess. Oh, yeah, that's. Duh.
So it's just meddling, and we gotta find out if there's steak knife collusion.
If it is actual collusion.
Regardless
like,
of
it's like there's a coupon. I'm
regardless
like,
of the meddling.
It is collusion.
The meddling is not illegal. The collusion is.
There we go. So steak knife meddling due
Steak
to
knife
Nier
meddling.
Automata.
That's right.
Insane.
They put those steak knife bots out there. Some of them are like pro stainless steel, and some are anti stainless steel, and they're really just making you confused.
Exactly. Yeah.
And angry. Really.
Do I even want my steel to not stain? Like,
Yeah.
isn't that a rustic, like, like a man with wrinkles? It's like there's like a distinguished feel to it. Like, do I want that in my knife set, or do I want it to be clean and
That's right.
fresh? I don't know anymore.
You don't know anymore.
It's because of the misdirection.
And all these, they're just railing against each other, trying to get you to feel confused until you finally,
Shit the bed.
shit the bed. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't
Use
know
a
why
butter
that.
knife.
Yeah, and then you had to use the butter knife to get the knife to to get the shit off the bed.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. So you got to buy the product, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the next step.
Shit, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's a very complex way of getting me to buy a steak set. Shit.
We got a question from us to you.
We do.
If you think you're going to beat that fucking game.
I'll do it.
Okay. Okay, it is time to review soon. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates. Guys, if you've ever played this game, please go onto our forum. We are going to have a thread opened up for you. And one will say Final Fantasy, or it'll probably just say Ring of Fates reviews, and another will say Ring of Fates questions. If you have either, please give us those things before next week or before our next episode, and keep the reviews kind of short, but ask as many questions as you want. We want both, though, so please get on our forums and swing away.
Yeah, if you're one of the 690,000 people that got a unit of this game, let us know what you thought of it. I mean, I think we're getting... every time I think we're getting more and more obscure, we still end up having people that have played them.
Well, considering we're English language, we're somewhere in the 200,000 range.
That's true, yeah. Not very many. Not very many. This is a really
Most
small
were sold
game.
in Japan.
This is a really small game. Like, I think we've had ones that were surprisingly small before, like Tactics Advance. I'm like, why is this not a bigger game? Like, what the hell? It's like, yeah, it sold over 1 million, but it's like Tactics sold a shitload more than that.
Still had 4 sequels after this, or
Yeah,
three
so
sequels.
I guess it's enough. I mean, maybe Nintendo was like, please, God, just let us have Final Fantasies again. And it's like the cruel irony of it all. They're like, you can have this Final Fantasy made by another company with our name on it.
Yes.
It's like how I avoid having Jake on the show. With having him on Ultimate Final Fantasy, I'm like, you can be on if it's just you and another group of people reviewing mobile games. You can't be on with us, though. Because that's not quite the show. That's just on the feed. Titled as the show, but we all know. We all know.
Okay.
That's what they're doing
We
with
just
Nintendo
lost
here.
our mobile crew.
Yeah.
They just got really offended.
You know what? The rest of them were fine. I only do it to Jake. And plus, we've had Grinatol on an episode, or on like 7 episodes.
Yeah. We've had, I think, both of those guys on.
Bill? Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway.
let us know
Don't
what you
ask me
think.
to confirm or deny. But yeah, those are questions from us to use the guys. Please get them at Just Briolia on Twitter.
At UFF Podcast.
Yeah, you can check out our other show, Nude Clan, next time, Schweiss. We got to do this at a different time of the day.
Yeah, earlier would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it would be.
I think Nude Clan is really fun when we're late, and like especially if it's a movie review. That's some of the most fun I've ever had in a podcast. But this is it's not bad enough of a show that we can just rail on, and it's not long enough either. There's just not enough there, so it's not as fun. But yeah, get on there, get on the forums, join the forums, join the conversation. Tweet us too. I think tweeting us is the best way to get a hold of us. To be honest, like we're all pretty active. It's a lot easier to manage on your phone than as opposed to Facebook for some reason. Like the messages are just it's a lot more work. And we're all pretty active on there.
Yeah, it is.
Let us know what you got on the mind. If you have any need any help with any Final Fantasy stuff like that, we can offer
Tweet
our
Schweiss.
shitty advice and whatnot. But yeah, go to the site ultimatefinalfantasy.com. Join the forums. Check out all of the content there. YouTube.com//Ultimate Final Fantasy. Twitch.tv/Ultimate Final Fantasy, where you can see us do the episodes live. And the next game we play, I should be streaming as well, so you'll be able to catch that in addition to our live streaming of our episodes, generally much, much earlier than the one right now.
But we're going to take a few weeks break.
Yeah, we'll
after
take some
next
time
week.
off. We'll still have episodes, but we'll be not streaming. But yeah, check all that out, and thank you guys so much for hanging out for another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy podcast. Enjoy.